Most professionals assume that waiting for more information is the responsible choice. Though it isn't neutral, the decision to keep researching is itself a decision, and it has a cost. The real question isn't how much you know, it's whether what you're still looking for would actually change your answer. Decide now if any one of the three conditions is true. The decision is reversible, the cost of delay outweighs the cost of a wrong call, or more information is unlikely to change your conclusion. If none of those apply, there is still a rule. Identify the single input that would actually shift your choice. Get only that, then decide. Everything else is noise. Here's the psychology worth knowing. Research from Kellogg found that people gather more information when a decision is framed as a potential loss, even when gathering that information is expensive. So when something feels high stakes, your instinct is to keep researching. The problem is that instinct is usually responding to fear of getting it wrong, not a genuine gap in what you know. Recognizing that pattern in yourself is half the work, but knowing that pattern isn't enough. You need a way to test it. The three triggers are quick to apply. First, is this decision reversible? If you can course correct without serious harm, then waiting only burns time. Second, what is the actual cost of delaying? If the cost of inaction, whether that's a missed window, a stalled team, or a competitor moving before you, exceeds the cost of a wrong call, then decide now. Third, is there any realistic new information that would actually change your conclusion? If you run that question honestly, and the answer is no, you already have enough data. If one of those three is true, stop gathering. If none of them are, move to the single input rule. This is the distinction that most people miss. There are two types of information you might go looking for. Information that would genuinely shift your choice, and information that would just make you feel safer about the choice you've already made. Only the first type justifies waiting, and the second is just comfort-seeking dressed up as diligence. If you're honest about which one you're actually looking for, the decision about whether deciding now or later is clear. And that honesty leads directly to the one-question test. Before you commission another report or schedule another meeting or run another survey, just ask this. If I had this information, would it actually change my decision? Not would it be interesting, not would it make me feel more confident, but would it change the call? If the honesty answer is probably not, then you've got enough. Decide and move on. Though there is one important counterpoint. This framework is not an argument for speed at all costs or genuinely irreversible high-stake decision-making. Committing to a major acquisition or a structural redundancy before you have all of the inputs isn't decisive, it's reckless. The goal isn't to move fast. The goal is to be clear about what information you need and whether you have enough. Say you're deciding whether to hire a senior commercial leader. You've interviewed 3 strong candidates, checked their references, and your gut is pointing clearly at one of them. But now you're considering running a 4th round of interviews and a psychometric assessment. Apply the test. Would any of those results actually change your choice, or would they just make you feel a little bit better about the choice you've already made in your head? If it's the latter, you're not gathering information, you're delaying. Make the hire. Here's the simple decision rule. Decide now if the decision is reversible. The cost of delay generally outweighs the wrong call. If none of those apply, name one input that would actually shift your choice. Get only that information, then decide. Everything beyond that one input is delay, probably dressed up as diligence. If that was useful, subscribe to 5-Minute Business for one clear answer to a real business question every video, and get them directly to your inbox at 5minutebusiness.com newsletter.